Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Anatoly, co-founder of Solana, CEO of Solana Labs. Thank you for coming. Today is a really big day for us. We've done what no one has thought was possible. We built an entire mobile software stack and a flagship phone, all optimized to build crypto, to bring crypto into the mobile era. And now you get to experience what crypto should be like on a mobile device. So what we're going to talk about is why we need Saga, what makes Saga possible, show you what the new Web3 experiences enable, and let's dive in. So I think since the founding of Bitcoin, since 2008, there's been this dream to get 1 billion people with self-custody using crypto. And the self-custody piece is really, really important because that's really the foundation of crypto, not your keys, not your coin. Like, you really actually have to have your private keys. And it's very challenging to do this. And there's a lot of skepticism for the entire space. Can we actually ever accomplish that? Can we ever get there? I personally can't imagine living in a world where crypto has 1 billion users and your phone is not your hardware wallet. Like myself, I worked at Qualcomm for over a decade. As soon as I started working in crypto, my immediate thought was like, okay, the device that I hold in my hand, the computer that's the primary device for most people in the world, that should be what's the actual most secure place to store your keys. And this is maybe because I worked at Qualcomm, I worked with a team that built the secure element and the trust zone and makes all of this possible. And to me, this was really obvious. But this is not the reality that it is today. The Saga is the first device where crypto is actually treated as a first-class citizen in mobile. And today, without Saga, the user experience in Web3 is still, I would say, pretty bad. Self-custody is really complicated. Security is really, really hard for mobile wallets and for wallets in general. And that means that innovation and user experiences in those wallets move very slowly. At the same time, over the last year, we've seen an explosion of innovation in Web3 content. It's actually moving and changing at a breakneck pace. We now have XNFTs, which are full applications. We have NFTs that are music and 3D content. And all of this new awesome experiences are really, really hard to interface with in a secure environment. So the bottom line is, I believe that the way to make Web3 experience better is through mobile and through a very secure hardware device. But there's other challenges besides just UX and security. The current app stores, Google Play and the iOS app stores, have very restrictive policies. It's very hard to get a crypto application through those processes. And this is because true digital ownership really breaks the Web2 business models. When you go back in time, you remember Apple launched the iPod with the idea that you can bring your music everywhere. It wasn't actually your music. The music that you bought on iTunes wasn't transferable. You couldn't sell it on eBay. This is music that Apple owned, that leased to you to use in their hardware. But with NFTs, you actually own those NFTs. This is your content. Once you take ownership of it, it's truly yours. And that doesn't actually work with how the app stores work today. When Magic Eden lists an NFT in their desktop app for $10,000, it's not an NFT that they own. This is content that's owned by the user that listed it. They can't list it for 30% more in their iOS app, nor can they eat the cost of that sale. So Web3 business models just don't jive with how Play stores work today. So because Web3 is all about true digital ownership, we really need a whole new solution for this. So how are we solving this? The Solana Mobile stack has 2 key pieces of technology in it. The seed vault, which is the hardware piece inside the phone that makes your phone as close to a hardware wallet as possible, and the App Store, which is a new home for the best mobile app experiences in Web3. And there's something magical that happens when you combine both of those things. The applications, the Web3 applications in the App Store all share the same seed vault identity. You no longer have this like 50-page menu to pick which wallet to connect with which app. All of this is automatically recognized by the operating system. You get your identity on the device. You have, like, when you get a sticker in Dialect, it shows up in your Soulflare wallet, and all of this is seamless. And that's an awesome experience for users, and this is what crypto should be like. So why hasn't anyone else done this? Probably most of the networks don't have a founder that worked at Qualcomm for over a decade. So, but I think also Solana is really the only place for crypto to go full mobile. You need the experiences to be fast, they need to be cheap, and they need to be scalable to support a large number of concurrent users. Everyone knows that Solana is fast, and it's only getting faster. Reality is that mobile users can't wait minutes for transactions to finalize. It's just that experience doesn't work in that fast context switching environment. They can't pay dollars per transaction because the network just doesn't have enough capacity at that moment to handle the user. Nor can applications eat costs at that scale. And cost matters a lot. We've announced state compression over a month ago, and that means creators commit 1 million NFTs for about 130 bucks. What that enables at those unit economics is that users can experience Web3 without fees and have Web3 integrated across all parts of the apps without any compromises. So these costs really enable mobile at scale. And of course, scalability. It's not just about cost and speed. You actually need to be able to handle the load. So when you have your application hit a massive success, you can't compromise on cost and speed simply because the network can't handle it. And Solana does that already today. But Solana is not just a network. It's an entire ecosystem. A lot of the folks here are part of that ecosystem. And you guys know that it takes more than just us to build it. We've had over 80% year-over-year developer growth. Just in the hackathons, there's been over 50,000 developers that have gone through the hackathons alone. And out of those, they form teams, they build venture-backed businesses. They have raised over $620 million just from the teams going through the hackathons, which is kind of an insane number to me. We started Solana on about $3 million in seed funding. And I talk to these developers all the time. One of their biggest fears is, how am I going to get this application through the iOS approval process? How am I going to get it through the Play Store if I enable NFT-gated features? Or a marketplace inside my game. All of these new and cool creative business models really don't work with the current policies. And I think it's going to take a mountain of effort to change these policies or a success like us. So that changes today. This is the start. Saga is all about bringing the new mobile experiences to Web3 users. And these folks are building applications across all sorts of use cases. We have apps that can mint NFTs directly on the phone for creators. There's gaming, obviously, payments. You can use Solana Pay between devices to have seamless payment experience. DeFi, obviously. Social. I think social is one of those breakthrough use cases that can really change what crypto's all about, like social finance. One of my favorite applications is Dialect. Every sticker in your messaging app is an NFT. You can trade it, you can swap it, you can collect it. And all of this is possible today on Saga. Wow. So finally, Saga is now available. It's shipping on 4/20 for everyone that's purchased who pre-ordered. And for everyone else, you can start your orders on May 8th. So let's talk about the hardware. It's an awesome piece of hardware. And I'd like to introduce you guys to Jason, the founder of Awesome, who actually built the phone.
Holy shit.
Thank you, Jason. So tell us about yourself.
Well, thank you for having us. Like Toli said, I'm Jason Keats. I'm the CEO and founder of Awesome Products. We're the manufacturer and engineers behind Saga. My team and I have had decades of experience in building hardware at all the major players. I myself spent 5 years at Apple, but we've had people at Google, Samsung, HTC, Microsoft, everybody you know. And we've been building hardware for consumers for many, many years, but under other people's direction. And when we founded Awesome, what we wanted to do was build hardware that we really loved. And our bread and butter is really building hardware that feels amazing in hand. And a great way to start that is get into hardware by talking about software. If you have a program that doesn't work, it's very conscious. You know it doesn't work, and you know why it's not working. It's not doing what you want it to do. But if I give you a piece of hardware and it's too light, or it's a little plasticky, or it just feels funny in your hand, sometimes it's tough to put your finger on what you don't like about it. What makes great hardware great is it is totally subconscious. You hold it in your hand, and you know it's premium. You know it feels fantastic. You get a sense of, I'm wearing a nice watch, or I'm driving a nice car. And that's something that's really, really special, and what the Awesome team has cut their teeth on over many, many years. And to that end, what we've done to start with on the phone is, on the outside, you have Corning's latest Victus glass for the cover glass. You have a stainless steel housing. And on the back, we have a full ceramic back, which is made out of yttria stabilized zirconia. And then we even did a little bit of throwbacks to some of our previous companies, where the buttons and the camera bump are made out of titanium, and the camera windows are made out of sapphire. And what happens when you hold this phone is you know you're holding something really, really special.
Yeah, I love the buttons. They're a beautiful shade of green. It's just an awesome device to hold in your hand. I mean, like, the attention to detail is amazing. Like, the fingerprint scanner is super fast. Like, everything on this device rocks. Can you tell us about some of the other features?
Yeah, I think one of the things that most people care about, especially when it's a new phone being launched, is how's the camera experience. We use 2 Sony sensors on the rear, so you get top quality on the back. And we have a Sony front-facing camera as well. And I'll spend 2 seconds talking about a camera feature that we've just pushed to our devs, is what we're calling smart framing on the front-facing camera. Which is, if I'm taking a selfie, it'll focus on me, but if Tolly hops into the back, it'll expand automatically and include both people into the shot. So, so little bits like that. It's still, at the end of the day, we want to deliver a fantastic phone experience too, to give the users more than they had before. Other examples include all-day battery life, super fast wireless charging, and extremely high memory, latest chip, or a fantastic Qualcomm chipset. And it's a fantastic device to use as your primary.
So how does Google fit into the Saga?
So again, like I was just saying, we never want to take anything away. So it is vanilla Android at its core. It means that it has the GMS suite. It has everything you come to use every day, Google Maps. It has Gmail, Google Photos, everything you've used to using. Additionally, we're going to be pushing quarterly security updates. We'll try to do them a little faster if we can. But on top of that, we're also going to be pushing the awesome privacy updates. And as well, because we're building this for Web3 in partnership with Solana, all the developers who want to push something to the device can work with us. We are Web3, what's the best way to put this? We love Web3. We want to be involved with this. And so we will offer support and updates that come with new and exciting software.
Awesome. So my favorite part of the hardware, obviously, is the seed vault. Can you tell us about how that works?
Yeah, so we're using a Snapdragon 8000 series chip. It is one of their flagship chipsets from Qualcomm. And that comes with what they call their TE, the Trusted Execution Environment, the Trust Zone, and the Secure Processing Unit. What that is hardware that it allows some software to be run very separate from the operating system, which keeps it highly secure, and without sacrificing any usability.
So I worked with a team that built this at Qualcomm. Like, I knew those guys. And this is a really cool feature because even your screen and your touch events on the device are totally separated from Android. So you can't take a screenshot of the seed wallet app. When you display your seed phrase on the screen, Android cannot see it. When you're typing it in, Android cannot capture the touch events. And this is something that makes this device as close to a hardware wallet as possible. And it's really, really cool and unique. So it's a really great phone. I love it. It's been awesome working with you and this entire process. I don't think this project would have been possible if we not met.
Yeah.
So really huge thanks to you and the awesome team.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much. Super excited for everyone to get their hands on it finally.
Cool.
Awesome.
So let's talk about user experience, the real Web3 experience on Saga. I'd love to invite Josh Taylor on stage, who's the lead designer at Solana Labs.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. So like Tully said, my name's Josh Taylor. I lead design at Solana Labs. And for the last year plus, I've been working with the team to design Saga and some of the future experiences that we'll be showing you here today. Yeah, the phone really is a beautiful device. Stunning to look at, stunning to hold in your hands. And Seed Vault is completely revolutionary. It's going to change fundamentally how people interact with crypto on the go. You know, when we first started talking about a phone, we knew that the standards for usability and for quality would be really high. We'd have to start with an incredible device, and that device would need to be as good as anything else on the market. And with the team at Awesome, we've achieved that. I love this quote. The great Alan Kay said, people who are really serious about software should make their own hardware. And we've taken that to heart. We believe that the usability on crypto still has a ways to go. We're not there yet. But in order to reach that future that we all see, we're going to have to go ahead and build it. So that's what we've done. We also knew that we'd need to make major leaps in how people interact with their private keys, right? This is kind of the core unit of interacting with Web3. We end up signing a lot of transactions, right? It's a thing that we do a lot. So our goal was to allow people to take their private keys with them safely, but just having your keys with you isn't enough. You want to be able to do something, right? You want to be able to actually interact and not just look at your assets, right? So we focused on two main areas. First, the interaction of signing with your private keys while on the go, and secondly, how this could open up a whole new world of unique experiences. So let's take a quick look back in time, all the way to June of last year when we announced this. And I'm just going to play a quick video of what a typical mobile experience looked like kind of before we got started. Note here that there really isn't a good way to connect a wallet. So truthfully, the mobile experience was relatively non-existent, even though we had great wallet apps. Those existing experiences included in-app browsers and dead ends and typing your seed phrases multiple times into every new app and a bunch of challenges like that. So we've solved this with Solana Mobile Stack, and now dApps can talk to wallets and can sign transactions on the go. So let's take a look now at what signing looks like on Saga. It's a lot like signing with a hardware wallet, but if that wallet was built deep into your phone. The dApp, in this case Jupiter, is going to request a signature. It's important to note, though, that Seed Vault is not a wallet app. There are already multiple great wallet apps on Solana. So we're going to use a familiar wallet, Phantom or Soulflare. In this case, we're going to use Phantom, just like you always have. But the big difference is your private keys are stored in Seed Vault. Phantom has no access to it. So this is where we need to pause for a quick second. I need to explain something. Like Toli just said, up until now, I've been showing you real screen captures from directly taken from real dApps running on Saga. But for this next critical moment, I'm actually going to have to show you a simulation because Seed Vault, we're going into Seed Vault, and I can't do a screen recording. That's not something that we can do. But your private keys are handled by Seed Vault away from Android in a secure environment. So when Phantom requests a signature, all it gets is a signature, never access to your keys. And all of that happens in a single tap inside of Seed Vault. It's that simple. So as soon as you allow Phantom to sign, you'll be passed right back to your dApp. It'll finalize the transaction, and then you're done. So this is major. Right, what this means is that with Saga, for the first time, you can have your keys with you safely on any device and easily use them to sign a transaction. So now I'll go ahead and play that through one more time just so you can see it all in one fell swoop. Compare this to signing with a hardware wallet on your phone or even on your computer. This is way faster and simpler. and we haven't compromised the security of your keys. So now all of the power of Solana is in your pocket. It's security that's actually usable, something that's only possible when hardware and software are designed together. So that's signing. But the natural question is, what can I sign, right? What experiences does this unlock? What does this do for me as a user? And this is the thing I've been really excited about. Mobile is a huge opportunity for net new experiences. And we've seen this for years, that when projects start thinking about mobile first, what they're really doing is they're thinking about people first, humans first, users first. They're thinking about where those people are in their real life, what problems they have, and then they're designing solutions and experiences to help. So I'm excited because this is just starting to really happen, to take hold in Web3. And we're just starting to see this first wave of truly consumer-centric mobile experiences, and Saga is the perfect platform. One of the projects that I'm really excited about, and we've already mentioned, that's been really exciting over the last little while is Dialect. So I'd like to bring Chris Osborne, founder of Dialect, up on stage to talk a little bit more with me about how they've been thinking about this transition. Chris? Good to have you.
Thank
Welcome.
you, Josh. It's great to be here.
Awesome. We're excited to have you. Yeah, tell me a little bit about the transition or the path of your company. I know you actually started as a desktop utility, right? And now you're kind of a really exciting mobile app. How did that happen, and what was that transition look like for you guys?
That's right. It's been a really fun journey for us at Dialect. So today, Dialect is a wallet chat and Web3 content platform. We are live today on the major app stores, but more importantly, we will be launching on Saga and on the Solana App Store on day one.
Woo.
And we've actually been building with you guys for months, and it has been like so much fun for us. So we've been actually live for a long time, not just on day one, day minus like 90. With Dialect, you can send and receive messages through DMs and group chats, just like you would in Web 2. But in Web 3 and with wallet-based messaging, we can create experiences that are not possible in Web 2, such as smart messages, NFT chat stickers, and more. We launched about a year ago, and as Josh said, we started as developer tools, and 2022 for us was this incredibly fun experience, getting to know and partner with and integrate messaging with a lot of the most talented and most exciting projects across the Solana ecosystem. What we realized, though, is that to bring these really unique Web3 messaging experiences to life, we need to lean in and create that mobile-first messaging and chat experience.
Right.
And so that's why we built Dialect, the mobile app. We launched it right at the beginning of the new year, and it has been an incredible few months. Fun fact on that, the decision point for us was actually June of last year at the Saga announcement event. We saw the incredible tech that you all were building and said, there's just no way we can't build an app for this. So started with Saga, and we can't wait to see where it goes from here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. One of the things that's really exciting about what you guys are doing beyond just the transition to mobile is that with this messaging platform, messaging is just so inherently mobile, right? We expect it to be there. But you're not just sending chats back and forth. You're kind of building a full platform on there that has a lot of extra functionality. Can you talk a little bit about what you guys are offering there?
That's right. So I'll give just one specific example that's live today. So our first unique insight into what really makes Web3 messaging different is what we call the smart message. Smart messages let you execute any smart contract right from the message. They're like link previews with buttons on them for one-tap, seamless transaction signing experiences. With smart messages, you can do all kinds of things like send and receive tokens, mint, buy, trade, rebid on NFTs on major exchanges. You can follow artists, place orders, top up collateral, really do anything you might want to do on the Web3 internet directly from chat, and maybe even buy a Saga phone.
Woohoo, fancy.
This is a huge improvement to the way we take action on the internet, and we see it as the foundation, to answer your question, for a whole new kind of messaging platform. Smart messages bring Web3 directly into chat and put all of that content and those experiences right at your fingertips, right on mobile, right in chat.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's exciting to see that platform growing. And from what I've heard and what you've said, there's a really interesting ability to attract some not very power user people to the platform, and in fact, new people. How has that been working for you guys?
Yeah, there's two things I would say about this. Well, three. First one is this has by far been the most fun thing about building Dialect, is seeing that kind of broader adoption start. When we launched Dialect, the mobile app, our focus was crypto natives. But we were maniacally obsessed with creating the best possible and most seamless onboarding experience. We really tried to strip away all friction from that first exposure to Web3. So we saw something to happen, which was pretty interesting, which is these early users started to invite their non-crypto native friends, cousins, kids, parents. We've seen it across the board, and it's been really delightful to see. So that's been a delight for us. It's not just polish, though, that has made that possible. Our second innovation in Web3 messaging is a new kind of content category. And these are NFT chat stickers, which you probably heard Toli mention a few minutes ago. They are animated, expressive art made by some of our favorite artists across the Solana ecosystem. And if you have them in your wallet, you can use them in chat. NFT chat stickers let you own your voice in Web3 like you never have before. And alongside these stickers, in Dialect, we've shipped a whole new first-of-its-kind collector's experience that we think is incredibly fun, and that's driving kind of like a Pokemon gotta-catch-em-all experience.
It's really fun.
It's been super fun. So that's been a great part of the experience. I'll briefly mention that my mom uses Dialect, and it's been a busy couple of months for me, and I have not taught her how to use it. And I'm just like amazed to see this. She has signed up for Dialect. We seamlessly create her first messaging wallet, and she tries out and mints her first chat stickers, and then can go use them in chat. And she's done this with 0 tokens at all in this messaging wallet. And that's all made possible by state compression, this innovative cutting-edge tech by Solana. Dialect is able to subsidize the infrastructure costs for all of this new content. We can mint millions of these chat stickers for our users for just a few sol. And I cannot emphasize enough how important these new kinds of tools and this tech is for mainstream adoption of crypto.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're excited about a lot of people picking it up and starting to use it. Maybe let's shift gears just a tiny bit here. I'd love to talk a little bit about app stores. So I know that you've had some recent, let's call them challenges, hiccups with some of the app stores. Can you talk a little bit about what some of your difficulties have been like?
That's right. It's a little bit of an understatement. So as I mentioned before, Dialect is live on the major app stores today. The challenge for us, and this has been true since we launched a few months ago, is it's not totally clear to us, like the Dialect team, what of these new experiences is actually going to get accepted and delivered, deployed, and usable by our users. And so this is precious design and engineering and development cycles that we spend trying to create these experiences, and then we're not really sure what of that is actually going to end up in our users' hands. And this is a compounding problem because it is hard enough to build a great and exciting consumer experience. Additionally, using new Web3 primitives like self-custody and the seed vault and other things like this makes that even harder. We're trying to onboard a new generation of people to a new kind of internet. And then if you then further constrain that to not knowing what you'll be able to ship and give to your users, it's just like an overly constrained problem.
Right.
So building for Saga and for the Solana dApp store, the big part for that, the huge unlock for us, is being able to solve those first two problems, making a great Web3 native consumer product, completely unconstrained and able to build directly for the best user experience. That's been the biggest unlock for us.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's exciting to have you here. It's exciting to have you there on day one. And I can't wait for everybody to give it a try.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm so excited to see dApps like Dialect creating these great new experiences, right? Creating new markets, really, and bringing new people in. This really helps kind of expand what we're doing. And guess what? They're not alone. Our most recent Grizzlython hackathon had over 800 submissions, and the mobile track was one of the really big areas of focus. That's new developers developing net new experiences, like Floop, who has introduced a completely new way to interact with NFTs on your phone. Look at this. Doesn't this look like fun? Right, this is the type of mobile experience that we want to start seeing. It's really exciting. And then there's dReader, which allows users to buy and trade and read comic books, NFT comic books, on the go, right on their Saga. Or, SoulGuard is another fun one. I thought this was a lot of fun. It's something that's intuitively mobile. They're taking a novel approach to screen time monitoring, where you can set controls for yourself, and then if you want more time, you can pay up. So these are just a few examples of what teams are starting to build. And it's this mix of functionality and fun that I'm excited to see a lot more of in the Web3 space. But all of these new experiences need somewhere to exist. They need a distribution system, right? So we've talked about a great phone, and we've talked about how it unlocks a lot of these new user experiences and new use cases. But they need a dApp store that allows dApps to build exactly what users want and not have to pay some of these extractive fees. So as Chris was just talking about, traditional dApp stores have had a very tenuous relationship with dApps. The rules limit basic crypto functionality, so teams are building limited dApps. The rules also aren't clear, so it's very hard for them to plan and to build effectively. And then there's the extractive fees. Web3 is all about ownership, like Toli was talking about earlier, and that's a big problem here. A dApp like Dialect doesn't own the NFTs that you're sending back and forth, so trying to take a fee when you buy or sell or all of the other things that you can do is a blocker for developers. And it's the users that lose out. So there needs to be an open dApp store that allows teams to build for the future. So that's what we built, and it comes with every Saga. So the Solana dApp store is a new way for dApp publishers to freely distribute their dApps without any intermediary. They can now establish direct relationships with their customers. They can explore new business models. And they can build with open and clear crypto-friendly policies. And this gives them access to new users that might have a bit of a different habits or behaviors than your traditional Web2 user. And they can do all of this without any fees, without traditional gatekeeping that gets in the way. And developers have already been building. And, we're very excited to be launching the first version of the dApp store that will be shipping with Saga. And we've given developers unprecedented early access to these devices so that they can all be building these experiences to get us jump-started. So from day one, you'll be able to buy NFTs, interact with DAO communities, stake your tokens, interact with social media on the blockchain, natively even mint an NFT directly from your camera. And that's just day one. We're just getting started, and many more are building. And we're excited about something else as well, and something that comes with the Solana dApp store, something that we haven't seen any other app store do. Because the Solana dApp store allows you to have this direct relationship with consumers, you can do new things, like reward them. So we're introducing the Saga Genesis token. It's an NFT that establishes that they are a Saga user. And because we can establish that relationship, we're going to give them rewards. They'll immediately get 20 USDC, and a small amount of Sol to get them started on their journey. But we aren't stopping there because this is an open platform. So this is open to any dApp, and they're already taking advantage. So you can expect to see exclusive sticker packs from folks like Dialect, plus not being on getting you off a wait list, a $25 credit from Magic Eden, exclusive mints of 2,000 brand new Claynosaurs, and many more. So we're excited because this is the first time that you actually get rewarded for using your phone. It's the phone that keeps on giving. This is one more great example of how the dApp Store puts users first. So that's a bit about the experience on Saga. You can now carry your seeds with you safely and sign easily. And all of that gives you a ton of great new experiences. Experiences that simply aren't possible anywhere except for on Saga. And we're just getting started. To talk a little bit more about where we go from here, Toli's going to come back on the stage.
Thanks, Josh. So where do we go from here? The future is mobile for crypto. And it takes a lot to build a fully decentralized mobile stack. It's not just a phone. It's not just a dApp store. It's also the carrier, your wireless provider. So I'm really excited to talk to you about Helium and how it's going to work with Solana Mobile. Let me invite Boris Runsky, the general manager of wireless at Nova Labs. Thank you. So tell us about Nova Labs.
Sure. So Nova Labs is a company behind the Helium network. Helium network is a decentralized wireless network. And to explain that in sort of like a non-nerd terms, I think you can think about just the wireless networks that you know, like for instance Verizon or AT&T or T-Mobile. And what these companies do. And what they do is basically, they put antennas on towers and, roofs of buildings and things like that, and then they sell you the cellular service subscription, and that's the business. And the Helium network is something that kind of adds a unique spin to it, in that any person or anybody can actually participate in network building. In that you can get a hotspot, like a device that we call a hotspot, from one of the vendors that are participants in our community, and put it on the roof of your house or wherever you want. And to the extent that you put it in the right place and it's creating useful wireless coverage, you can earn crypto. And this concept was started some years ago, with a specific focus on very particular use case, which is creating wireless coverage for low-power sensors, like water leak sensors or like dog trackers and things like that. And it's become very popular. So in about a year, I think close to 1 million hotspots have been deployed all over the world. And it was really kind of impressive, and I think that the founding team even didn't expect themselves the extent of enthusiasm behind it. And now we've actually moved and started a new use case for it, which is going beyond the water leak sensors and just providing wireless coverage for cell phones. So imagine a network where you can kind of participate in building the network, and that is Helium Mobile.
So what's really cool is that Helium, the network, all the hardware that they've deployed is now going to be tracked on the Solana chain.
Yes, that is correct. So when we first started out, there was no Solana chain. And in fact, there wasn't a lot of layer 1 chains to choose from. So we had to build a lot of stuff. We had to build and deal with all the complexity related to the wireless side of it, as well as the actual blockchain. And I think that what we've come to realize is that we're not really like blockchain gurus. What we are is just a bunch of wireless nerds. And to the extent that we can use something that is already there, that is good, like Solana, it'll help us free up a lot of cycles to focus on things that we're good at, which is building the wireless technology and wireless tech, which is why we are moving to Solana L1.
So all those over 1 million hotspots are now going to be NFTs. Basically, cost virtually nothing to mint all of those NFTs on Solana, which is really, really cool. Same NFTs that track your favorite monkey pictures are now tracking hotspots. Helium is really, really cool. It's taking on a massive challenge with 5G. What most folks don't realize is that 4G cellular towers have a range of like 30 kilometers. They can go through walls. 5G have a range of about 400 meters and can't go through walls.
Right.
So what are some of the advantages and reasons why a decentralized wireless network can succeed?
Yeah, so I think that you kind of somewhat hit on the point, is that everybody's really excited about the next generation wireless, and that next generation has been broadly believed to be 5G. So all the carriers have been promoting 5G for a decade plus, and then when people ended up getting their first 5G phone and trying to use it, you learned that actually it's same as LTE, maybe slightly faster, and has a 5G symbol. And the very problem with it is that creating faster network is not really about having a particular protocol, but it's about deploying a lot of coverage, because higher frequency bands, which is what in 5G gives you faster speeds and better experience, don't go for walls, don't go for trees. And it just so turns out that there's a lot of walls and trees out there. So the traditional way of building networks, where you have to go to every person that owns every building and tell them, can I put your cell in there? It doesn't work. So it has to be a brand new model for building this new type of network, where a lot of the coverage is created bottoms up by people that have the freedom to just get a piece of hardware and put it on their real estate, and just great coverage.
Yeah, some people estimate you're going to need close to 10 million of these cells, microcells, to cover the entire United States. So, which is an astounding number of hardware. And it's really cool that you guys are competing with AT&T and Verizon and all these massive companies, but you're doing it in a very decentralized way. So what are some of the advantages of being decentralized?
Well, one obviously is that you cut out a lot of complexity related to creating denser deployments, because instead of doing it the Verizon way, where I have to go to the building owner and say, can I get the permit to put a tower on top of your roof? The person that owns the building can just go and get the antenna and put it on the roof. So it creates much faster and more cost-efficient way to deploy dense wireless networks. But also, I want to speak a little bit to the point of millions of hotspots that you need. I think that's not entirely true, and this is where I think a lot of the subscribers and Saga users can come into play, because we have this concept in the Helium network, in Helium Mobile, called dynamic coverage. And what that means is that we're not just driving people to put hotspots everywhere. You only need to put them in places where there is a lot of frequent usage and demand for high-speed data. And to be able to uncover where those locations are, subscribers, such as Saga phone users, are actually able to opt in to participate in network building by sharing some of their usage patterns. So you can just opt in and say that, I want to be what we refer to as begin mapping, and you will share, where you're using a lot of data and where you potentially need a lot of high bandwidth data, and this will inform the blockchain as to where these locations are and drive the deployment behavior among the folks that are actually deploying the hotspots. So this way, not only you are decreasing the total number of hotspots that you need to deploy to create good wireless experience for the users, it's also a tremendous opportunity for the people that are subscribers to participate in network building and earn crypto rewards for it.
So this is really cool. Your phone will be able to earn rewards, just like like you were mining Bitcoin with your ASICs 5 years ago. So I know you want to announce something special for Saga owners.
Of course. So if you reach under your seat, there's a free Saga underneath. So jokes aside, so this is we're launching Helium Mobile. We announced it in partnership with T-Mobile in September last year. And since then, we've gotten a tremendous amount of demand. A lot of people subscribe to our waitlist. And judging by how many people we have inbounded, we realized that we need to kind of launch in waves. We can't just say, hey, everybody subscribe, because it's the first time that we are launching wireless carrier. We're going to be kind of learning a lot of things as we go. So we're going to be launching in these waves. And the thing that we wanted to announce is that anybody that owns a Saga phone or buys a Saga phone automatically is going to be within the initial wave of our launch. Otherwise, the only way to have gotten into it is to have subscribed to the waitlist a while back. And also, everybody who gets a Saga phone will get 1 month of 3 truly unlimited nationwide wireless on Helium Mobile. And you will be, in this unique club of people that gets to be, the early folks that help us build the network by mapping and earning rewards. So.
Wow. Thank you, Boris.
Thank you.
It's awesome to work with you guys. It takes a whole ecosystem to build an entire mobile stack, like a mobile ecosystem. And it's not just us alone. It's folks like Helium, like Awesome, and all the application and developers that are doing it with us. So it's really awesome to work with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're not stopping. There's still a ton of work left to do. There's a ton of applications to be built, ton of work on the user experience to make it better, improvements to security and everything else. We want to make this the best mobile experience for Web3 users and the best mobile experience in general for everyone. So there's even more exciting stuff coming in the future. But right now, I want to thank you guys for coming with us on this journey. Devices are shipping on 4/20. Very easy to remember. So go order them right now. Go make your orders, and thank you guys.